If you are driving on US 63 north of Kirksville near the community of Sublette, you may have noticed something odd and out of place on the west side of the road. But what is it? Why is it there, and what purpose does it serve? Hagen Zinneker has the answers.
Although it is mostly obscured by trees, if you have a clear view, the shape is undeniable.
They called it the big golf ball.
An unusual sight amongst the corn and soybean fields of northeast Missouri sits a radar station on the west side of US 63 north of Kirksville in the community of Sublette. Radar sites are usually found near massive airports or Air Force bases. So why is this one here?
It's supposed to be the highest ground between Kansas City and Chicago. And it was to look for any kind of enemy planes or intruders into that airspace.
As a result of Cold War fears of deep penetrating Soviet bomber fleets, radar sites appeared across the interior of the United States.
Kirksville's radar site was one of 13 radar sites which collected data on air traffic. Each radar site covered approximately 175 to 200 miles in diameter. So you had these 200-mile diameter circles kind of overlapping each other. And all that was fed into a air defense headquarters building.
This particular site housed the 790th Radar Squadron and their 250 men. All of them were housed in 6 barracks with a mess hall, gym, mailroom, PX, and an orderly room. 9 houses were also constructed for married service members and their families. The site not only housed the golf ball, it also had 2 height-finding radars near it for height determination of objects. The site not only protected the airspace, it also brought new people to the community of Kirksville, and some of them became a part of it.
It added a lot of people to the community, and they actually married into the population here, you know.
Over the 1950s and most of the 60s, the radar site received upgrades to its equipment. However, the late 1960s brought a change in policy regarding defensive radar sites, as interior sites became unnecessary.
This was the second line of defense across the northern part of the United States. And we had BMUs, which was across Alaska and Canada up there, because that was Canadian. Some of those Canadians had some. And they decided that if we had that was probably good enough.
In October of 1970, the government sold most of the site to Northeast Missouri State University for educational purposes. A Head Start program would also use the facility starting in 1977 before moving to another location. Today, the radar is currently being used by the FAA to monitor the airspace for commercial flights and relaying the data to air traffic control centers in Kansas City and Chicago. For KTVO News, I'm Hagen Zinneker.
You can find more stories about the radar site on KTVO.com.